Hello, hello, hello. I am author and entrepreneur, the cerebral palsy vigilante, Zachary Fennell, and you are watching Making of a Memoir, my video series documenting the hard work involved in writing and self-publishing a book. Today is Saturday, October 9th, 6:52 p.m. I was just sitting here. I spent some time earlier in the day. I had this essentially a checklist of revisions to make to my book, the adding more context, more details to give what I've already have in there a little bigger impact. And I've just got through about half of it. So this is from basically chapter 10 through chapter 16. The point of getting through the half marathon to make editing less overwhelming for myself. After my second read through, I decided I'm going to treat the manuscript in two parts. The first part, which was just that inspiration strikes, an idea emerges, to completing a half marathon, which I originally believed was the farthest I would be able to accomplish with physical achievement. And then taking that from half marathon to becoming an actual marathoner and doing that second half a little, treating that second half separately. So once I get done with the first half, I will be able to move on to that second half, which is from, okay, I'm a half marathoner. How did I become a full marathoner? This unfathomable, unreasonable goal of mine. How did I achieve it? That's where I'm at. I was just sitting here thinking, do I continue for the night or do I just take the rest of the night off and resume changes and revisions on that first half tomorrow before I go into work? And as I was sitting here, I'm like, I should turn my camera on and film this conundrum for making of a memoir. Here I am talking to you now. I'm thinking of holding off until tomorrow. I feel okay right now. I just think I'll be even fresher in the morning. I can just finish up that first half and getting that first half to a good part. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Greetings this Tuesday, October 12th, about 9:36. I might be recording this on Tuesday, but this is an update for what I've done on Sunday. As I mentioned, as you just saw just now watching this Making of a Memoir episode, I had gotten through about half of my checklist for that first half of my memoir and doing the revisions to the manuscript. Sunday, I did get myself to a good point before I went into work where I felt like that first half is more or less done. I now will have to get into the second half at some point. I don't know if that's going to be today or tomorrow. My hamstrings are really tired. I'm on my bed right now with my leg cast, stretching them, and so I need to be taking care of myself physically right now to put myself in a better shape to concentrate. I've got a blog post. In other words, I have other responsibilities to tend to. I do have a room at the library before I go in on Thursday to work in the afternoon. Thursday, I'll give plenty of time. I'll be in a good environment to get some more work done on my manuscript. I think I'm done with my copy editing. Next up is line editing. Then I'll be sharing my manuscript with select people to obtain their feedback. Yes, you heard that voiceover right. You heard me read that tweet. I have completed copy editing. Today is Friday, October 15th, closing in on 4:30 in the afternoon. Caught up in a wave of positive momentum yesterday. As I shared earlier in this video, I had booked a room at the library. Between being in that good environment and having basically 3.5 hours to continue copy editing, I built so much momentum up that this morning and today I wasn't planning to work on my book. I mentioned earlier I have other responsibilities I need to tend to, but I just couldn't pull myself from the copy editing, and I am now at a point where I feel like a finished manuscript, and it comes down to line editing, going through, making sure grammar is right, using the correct words, punctuation, that stuff. And after that, and that can be kind of overwhelming. Like writing a book, self-publishing especially, because you're on your own when you're doing this in many ways. You're not that you're on your own if you have the right support network, but you have to give yourself that direction of what to do. So way back in February, episode 36, I believe it was, of Making of a Memoir, I had the ability to tout to say I had completed writing my manuscript. It's October, and I'm just now getting around to saying episode 47 of Making of a Memoir, the copy editing is complete. Grant you, I had some unforeseen circumstances that happened in between that kind of slowed that process. I never planned on falling in the summer and straining my groin and all that. That happened. The job hunt took away time, but I'm here now. I have a completed manuscript that I feel good about from the copy and story perspective. Of course, there are some things that I'm like, did I go into too much details about this? Is this clear enough, or do I need to add more details about a certain person? There are those questions, and I will get those questions answered in a bit. As I was getting to say was, next up is line editing with Word, which again, in celebrating the copy editing being finished, all of a sudden line editing, I'm looking at 420 pages on Word. They are formatted for a Kindle, not 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So they are 420 pages of a book. Now I have to go through and line edit, which I'm going to be using spell checker for. When exactly I'm going to do that, I got to figure out. But my point was 420 pages. After just taking February, 8 months to get the book copy edited, which is obviously more of a involved task than line editing. Nonetheless, line editing can be tedious, 420 pages. The point I'm trying to make is that I could easily feel overwhelmed and be like, this is never going to get published. But I'm going to figure out, I just sat down and do some brainstorming with the line editing. Okay, 420 pages. When do I want to have the line editing done by? Create a deadline. And then when I create that deadline, I can feel like, okay, how many pages a day would I have to do to complete line editing? And that's the approach I'm going to have to take. And once that's done, I go from there. I start sharing with certain individuals, select individuals, get their feedback, get their opinions to validate my doubts or help me assess what I was just talking about earlier. Is there too much detail here? Have I clearly stated who this individual is, or do I need to add more detail? That kind of stuff only an outside perspective will give you. And that's where I'm at. It's pretty exciting. Still a ways to go. Obviously, my goal at the beginning of the year was to release this book in the third quarter of this year. We're already into the fourth quarter, so that's not going to happen. I have not set a new published date yet. My goal is to have copies of my manuscript in the hands of those select individuals by the end of this month, and that's where I'm focused, and we're going to go from there. I hope you will continue along with me for this journey by continuing to watch Making of a Memoir. If you're watching at this point, it must mean you've liked the video, so go ahead and hit the thumbs up icon to show it. If you have questions about line editing or copy editing, or who I'm going to have look over my manuscript, do ask those questions in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure you get notified every time I publish a new video. You be subscribed to my channel and rung the bell icon. Until next time, remember, don't blend in, blend out.